everyone. Welcome back. It's Dawn. So happy to have you. And I just had an idea and thought, you know what? I'm going to go for it. So I have quite an interesting color palette for today. And this is a 16-inch round canvas that I've tightened up with a mist of water. It's from Hobby Lobby, so the misting actually works. It's nice and tight, and it will dry and stay that way. I have my pillow mixed up, and I have thinned it a bit to cover this large canvas. And the way that I choose my the color of my pillow is I think if a color is going to pop up through my design, what is going to look the best? And I started out thinking I would do like a red purple, a violet, because I've got a lot of violet going on here, or in the purple range. But then I wanted to blue it up just a little bit, so I ended up with this really pretty periwinkle or cornflower. I don't know if there's a difference between the two colors, but it is a metallic. And this is Artist Loft Violet, Arteza Pearl Royal Purple, and Artist Loft Metallic Blue. And it just sort of turned this gorgeous color. And it was super thick because I added a lot of paint. And this is my extra thick pouring medium. The no house paint, no varnish, Shelly Art Bloom recipe. So it's the consistency that I would want in a pillow. And just a tad thinner for a round. So that's my starting point. I had this idea to combine these three colors. So this is phthalo blue and phthalo green mixed, both Amsterdam, to create phthalo turquoise. And I do like it a little on the bluer side, so there is more blue in that. And blue is always the stronger color. This is Amsterdam Reflex Rose. And this is Amsterdam Permanent Blue Violet. And I just thought that that would make such a sharp, vivid color palette. So those are my two paints. And then I have two interference pigments. These are both Stone Coat Countertops Polycolor. This one is green, and this one is red. Christmassy, right? So I'm going to do something with those. And then I have this little piggy Sea Glass, this little piggy Athena, and pearlx Reflex Purple. My cell activator, and this was, this is something I've been thinking about using again, and I haven't used it since I stopped using the Housepaint. And I was pawing through my cabinet, and I have a stack of cell activators in different colors, and this is Pearl Violet cell activator. So this is Amsterdam Pearl Violet paint with Australian Floetrol. And this was originally like a 3-to-1 ratio, but it has thickened from sitting. It does leave a teeny trace, not much. So I'm not using a thick cell activator on this particular swipe. I'm doing a radial swipe. This is the largest radial swipe that I've ever done. This is the largest wide palette knife I have. So the hope is that it's going to give me good coverage, and I'll be able to get plenty of cell activator on there to do this. So, I don't know that I haven't watched a lot of videos lately. Yes, I'm guilty. I'm trying to pop into the different channels that I follow. I follow so many. I bet I follow 150 different people right now. And I try to get in and see what they're up to, what they've got going on. And I don't think I've seen anybody do a swipe this big. So it is going to be interesting. And I'll show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get this pillow down. Oh my goodness, that is like the perfect consistency. Now if I could just remember this going forward. I'm going to leave a tiny bit in case I need it. And oh yeah, this is spreading out beautifully. And it's just distilled water that I added to the mix just to break it down just a tiny bit so it will flow, because I have had some difficulty. Now, I don't know how that's going to affect the cell structure and how well it holds up, but I guess I'm going to find out. Let me give this a little push to the edge. That good and clean, because I'm going to need that again. I'm going to give it a quick torch. Oh, the bubbles torch out so much better on a thinner pillow. I really hope this works. So I'm going to start with, trying to think what I want at the top and what I want at the bottom. So I'm going to start with this weird little thing. So this is the interference green, and it's going everywhere, because I just love Darren Nixon's Wombat Wonder pillow, and I love using it. I love doing it. The effect is gorgeous. You won't see it much because I want the swipe to cover the whole canvas. However, it will play with the swipe in a very fine way. I almost made the mistake of using the violet interference, and it wouldn't really show up well with the violet cell activator. Do I have enough? Yes, I feel like I have enough. So I'm going to start with Athena. And this is going down, not in a circle, but in a line. I always like to do my radial swipes with a wide swath of paint. And then I'm putting the reflex rose on either side of it. And I might add more of that. And then I'm doing the reflex purple. I hope that's a bubble. Not that it much matters. It's getting swiped anyways. Yep, just bubbles. Not a big deal. So then I have the reflex purple. And my permanent blue violet. And sea glass. It should be really interesting to see if I can do a radial this big. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit nervous. So I want to use, oh my goodness, I can't see now which one is the green. Oh, it's not that. So it's got to be this. I want to reuse the interference green underneath the phthalo turquoise mix. That is a pile of paint, but I find the more tube paint that I have, the better things turn out. It's just the nature of this acrylic mix. So, oh my goodness, I'm nervous. I'm gonna load up my palette knife, and I am going to put a lot of cell activator on here because it has to carry the entire radial. All right, here we go. Where shall I? Going right here. What's the worst thing that can happen, right? And that's a question that I really shouldn't ask, considering my luck lately. So I don't feel like, I don't feel like I have any cell activator left. It went a long ways, I think, but I'm going to give this a second to see if I get anything, and then I'm going to hit the outside with another big swipe. I kind of had a feeling it wasn't going to go the entire distance. And I have a cake spreader that I used to use, but I can't find it. So let's start here. And then I may go back. I'm a little nervous about that. I think I might do here. I just want to make sure I have cells everywhere, regardless of what's going to spin off. A little bit of a slant here, so it's not a solid line. Maybe that worked, maybe it didn't. It kind of did. And I can always modify this too. All right, let's give it a couple of blows in the center and see what we have. Thought I'd just kind of bloom that out a little bit so it's not a solid line, just in case it doesn't all go off. All right, so I don't have a ton of cells here, but we'll see what happens. I've got lots of color popping up. It's very lively, and of course more color comes, bubbles up through, percolates up through. As you spin it, and it thins out. Just getting some paint on the very edge. All right, should be interesting to see how this, I sound like my husband now, he's always saying, should be interesting. But that was a good idea to blow on those thicker areas. That really looks cool. Happy accident. And I know my canvas isn't centered, but neither is this Lazy Susan. It just is not centered at all. So it doesn't spin evenly, no matter what I do. So I could go that way first, just a little bit. I really wish I had more here, but I can't do much about that now. So I may end up having to kind of get the whole thing going that way. Because it is spreading out perfectly. And I knew I would lose some of the outer edge that I re-swiped, so I knew I didn't need to worry too much about that. All right, so I have my paint weight up towards you. It is a nice color combination. I don't see a lot of the blue violet. It's kind of hidden right now, but it may come up as I spin or as it sits. I do like that deep turquoise center though, a lot. It's beautiful. And I'm going to torch because I've got some micro bubbles coming up everywhere. Boy, am I glad I put an apron on. I paint all over it. Imagine that. All right, just gonna study this for a second and see if I like it as it is or if I want to spin it a little bit more. A little bit of warping, just a little. It's not bad. I think I could go that way again, and that's probably what's causing the warping, is that I'm only trying to tilt off one edge. As I was prepping everything, I was thinking, I wonder if I should get out my big piece of acrylic in case I need to pleat it if it comes out really bad. No, not today. Cosmic. Love it. I'm getting some really good slide. I have to be careful with the thinning of that pillow because it is moving way quicker than I'm used to. I wonder if the blue violet will show up more as it dries. I'm curious if the cell activator muted it a little bit. So I think I can unwarp it by going towards that edge a little bit. I don't mind that it's warped. I think it's really cool. I don't know if my paint is moving though. Not much. So the white areas you see are obviously not white. They're interference colors, which is awesome. Wow. That's fun. I like it. Yeah, the warp came out of it a little bit, so that's good. I didn't really want to lose too much of this over here because I'm getting a lot of interesting cells popping up, and I love the lacing on these edges. Love, love, love it. It's so pretty. So I will get some of this cleaned up, and I don't really need to torch it again. I don't really have many bubbles left. And I'll bring you in for a flyover and then back for dried results. Okay, so I got her moved down here to the hallway to dry because it's a bigger area and cleaner. So I don't have the light from my window, but you're still going to be able to pick up the shimmer and the violet, interference violet cell activator. Really interesting. I like it a lot. I'm seeing little bits of every single color that I used, even the interference colors underneath. So I'm really happy with this, and I can't wait to see it dry. And I will be back in just a moment with the dried results.